time goes. Welcome to the November Commission on Inclusion and Adaptive Living meeting. I'm thrilled to see everybody here, and a pre-happy Thanksgiving and happy holidays to all of you. So let's get underway with roll call. And Lisa or Alan, if you would like to run that, either of you would be fine.
Okay, I'll jump right in there, Jamie.
Okay.
And I will call on James Martinez as the first individual.
I am here.
Excellent. Monica Atteridge.
I
Keith
do.
Becker. I see
Oh,
Keith.
Alan, just
Okay.
one sec. I
Sure.
do believe that I remember Monica saying that she would not be here for this meeting.
Okay. All right.
So
Keith,
it would
I
be.
see you. Sarah Dorman.
I'm here.
Yes, you are. Jeremy Musgrove.
Present.
Stephanie Birdwell.
Hello, everyone. I'm here.
Hi, Stephanie. And Rachel Simakonda.
Oh, I'm here.
Awesome. Okay. We have a quorum and more.
Fantastic, folks. I'm thrilled to see everybody here and hope you're all doing well. Okay, so just as a refresher for item number 3 on the agenda, the protocol for the meeting is that if you wish to speak, please present your intentions in the chat, and you will be called on as you appear in the chat. In fact, let me put mine on so I can see. There we go. So again, if you have intention to speak, just place your intentions in chat. You will be called on in the order that you appear in the chat. Oh, and a reminder to you folks, when you do speak, we would appreciate if you put your camera on if you are in fact able to do so. Okay, moving down to item number 4 on the agenda. Do we have any public participation this month?
No, we do not, Chair.
Okay. Moving down to item number 5, we have informational items from Commission on Inclusion and Adaptive Living members. So who would like to share some information? You can also use the raise your hand function as well. You're all quiet today. Any informational items at all? Stephanie says she has nothing today with a smiley face. Awesome. Okay.
It must be the pre-holidays anticipation.
I'm thinking so, Alan. Good call. We will go ahead and move on then to item number 6, staff participation. And we have information from either Lisa or Alan. Who wants to take this?
Hi, Jamie. I don't have any updates today. This is Lisa. Sorry, you guys, I can't have my camera on right now. Have a sick dog sitting on my lap, but no specific updates as of yet. But I do have just some general information. I will be sitting on the committee for diversity awareness for a while. So as things get rolling with that, if there's anything that's adaptable to this specific committee that we might want to speak on and add as our items for either informational items or anything that's upcoming that we can work on, I will be letting you guys know about that.
That would be fantastic, Lisa, because I envision us working together, especially on the curb cut, street, and sidewalk project that we are undertaking. I think that would be great.
Sounds good. Thank you.
And Jamie, just want to give the commission an update on the banner. We'll be moving forward with that. First part of January. Had to wait for the right price and go back and forth as you do with people who are making things for you. So we'll have that available for events that the commission would like to attend, put on their table and draw attention to what we do here.
That's fantastic. I'm really excited about the banner and really like the look of it. So thank you for getting that mock-up over to us all, Alan.
Very welcome.
Okay, next on the agenda, I don't believe that Estella's here for the Mountain Line update this month. I do believe that she's on vacation. So we will go ahead and table that until December.
Mr. Chair, I do have an update on behalf of Estella.
Oh, I recognize that voice. It's Kate. How are you?
I'm good, Jamie. It's good to see you.
Good to see you, and thank you for being here.
No problem. Thank you, Chair and members of the commission. I'm Kate Morley. I'm the Deputy General Manager of Mountain Line. You may recall that several months ago, maybe 6 months ago, I can't quite remember, we brought forward the design of our new Downtown Connection Center to the commission and received some feedback regarding the universal access to the building. And so we've been working hard on that, and I wanted to provide an update to you today. So I'm going to screen share here. So the Downtown Connection Center is located on Phoenix Avenue between Milton and Beaver Street on the north side there. We have just a couple bus bays. We're basically in partnership with the city for the redevelopment of that entire block. So that way we can expand bus access in the future, bring customer service downtown and other items. And we will demo the building that's currently there on the corner of Milton and Phoenix and build a new building. That's phase 1. And then phase 2 will be new bus bays. So what I have for you today is the building. And I'll try to talk you through this. I know that there's a lot here, but what you saw previously were these 2 top pictures of the design of the building. And you can see there's quite a few stairways here on this one, which is the entrance side from Milton. And then this was from the bus bays, kind of standing on Phoenix, kind of looking to the northwest. And you can see again, quite a few stairs with a ramp that came behind these these bike lockers that are over here. We heard from the commission loud and clear about the universal design access and wanting to reduce the stair capacity there. And so went back to our designers and asked them to redo it. And I'm going to show you on this slide here. This is the Milton side. This is from the bus bays along Phoenix Avenue. You can see we've reduced the stair width to be the same as the ADA ramps in both cases, so not giving preference to one or the other. And we've tried to make it as attractive to use the ramps, or even more attractive than the stairs themselves. So the way that plays out in looking at design is where this was the previous view of the Milton side. This is now the view of the Milton side. You can kind of see that ramp sloping up, and this rendering doesn't have landscaping. I'll show you one with landscaping in a moment, but this would all be beautiful landscaping and a really attractive path into the building. This is the side from the bus bays. So this is what we had here with the bike lockers and these wide stairs. You can see that we've really narrowed the staircase into the building. We do have 2 sets. This one goes halfway and brings you up onto the ramp, similar to what's happening at the library entrance. It slopes up this way and then up this way, and everybody enters in the same spot. So 2 options there. I'm gonna escape out of this and show you our latest rendering. So this, you guys are the first group, I think, to see this rendering, which is really exciting for us. But this is now a rendering of what that looks like at the building. So this is from the bus bays, the main entrance, you know, looking that northwest, you see the peaks back there. Here's one set of the staircases and the other, and then you can see once we plant it, it's a really beautiful path that we have for the ramp there, very attractive to use. And again, the same width as you see the staircases are. We did talk about removing the staircases entirely. There was some discussion about how some people have may experience disabilities that actually they prefer the stairs due to limited ankle mobility, those types of things. So we did end up keeping both, but tried to make them equally attractive in the design. So a big change, we've worked very hard on it, and we wanted to bring it back to the commission to get your feedback, but also show you that we listened and have made changes accordingly. So that's all I have, and I'm happy to answer any questions.
Kate, I am super excited about this. This looks fantastic. It's beautiful.
Thank you. We have been working hard, and we think it's turned out really nice also.
Do we have any questions for Kate or any feedback? And Lisa in chat also agrees that it's very nice. Any feedback for Kate?
I see Rachel, I think that is, has her hand up.
Oh, okay. Let's see. I'm gonna go ahead and read Jeremy's and then I'll call on Rachel. So Jeremy says no questions, but it looks beautiful. And go ahead, Rachel, you have the floor.
I was just going to say the same thing. It looks really, really beautiful. I know that I've only been in a wheelchair for 2 years, and I see the kind of the slope of the ramps are going to be at such a degree that it's going to be difficult to get up. So I really applaud the work done on this.
This is just fantastic. And Kate, if you can see the chat as well, the commentaries coming through for the approval. It looks great.
I love it. And I'm liking everybody's pieces, and I'm really, really glad that the commission is liking what they see, because we have worked hard to try to adjust it.
We really appreciate working with you on this too. Thank you for consulting with us and getting our feedback.
Absolutely.
And keep us appraised, please.
I will. I get a quick update. So we're in final design now. We expect to break ground, which will essentially be demoing the building that you see there, maybe around February, kind of early winterish, and then really going vertical with the building next summer. We think it's about 18 months of construction, and that will occupy the building in May of 2024 is our plan. So it feels like a long ways away, but it'll be here before we know it.
Oh, I know the way time's going, no kidding.
Yep, absolutely.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you for allowing us the moment to share.
You bet. So next we have an update from Miss Michelle Eisenberg with the Hajoni Foundation.
Actually, Russ is here, so he's now the main liaison, so I'll let him go ahead and speak.
Okay, Mr. Russ Randall with the Youth Liaison.
Thank you, Jamie. Coming from the Northern Arizona Community Practice Transition Team, we held our Youth Transition Fair on October 28th at Coconino Community College. And first, we would like to thank the community college for hosting us for our transition fair. We love being able to have 100 high school kids go to the community college and tour and just conduct workshops and that kind of stuff on that campus. So that's wonderful. So a quick thanks to the community college for hosting us. And then I think, and Michelle was at the transition fair. I was not there. I was out of town, but it's reported to me there was about 100 high school students from mostly Coconino and Flag High, and I think Summit High School, and I'm not sure what other high schools, but about 100 kids attended and went to, collected information from the vendors who were there, and also went to a variety of workshops, breakout sessions, and then also heard from a wonderful keynote speaker who is our very own Mr. Jamie Martinez. So Jamie, thank you for keynoting for us and doing a wonderful job with that. And I think Miss Rachel, another commission member, was also present. So I thank her for being there as well, representing the commission. And I think it was a wonderful event. So we were glad to have that happen again. I think that was our 12th transition fair that the community practice transition team has put on in Flagstaff. So we're excited to be able to do that. And then presently, now that the fair has been planned and facilitated, the community practice transition team is working on its charter, and, revising its charter to more accurately meet today's needs in today's community. So I think that's, oh, and Jeremy was there too. So that's right. Thank you, Jeremy, for being there as well. And then I see in the chat, it says, how were the high school students chosen to go? Could we get more participation in the future? Basically, Sarah, the way that worked out is that the community practice transition team invited the high schools throughout Northern Arizona, actually, to attend. And then we, with regards to individual high school students attending from their school, that would be based upon, the schools reaching out to the students themselves. And then I guess, the students being able to go based upon their attendance and their grades and stuff as they would with any field trip. And Sarah, did I answer your question?
Yeah, that was great. I just wasn't sure if it was certain certain classes were invited, or was it more of like a, an general email that went out, so that let me know how that worked out. So thank you.
You're welcome. And Sarah, in the past, we've had more students attending. I think sometimes as many as close to 200 students, but we haven't had an in-person transition fair now, I guess, in 3 years, since 2019. So I think next year's we'll have more high schools in attendance and more students in attendance as well. Our past two have been remote, so I think people kind of got used to that as well. But yeah, I mean, so we were kind of excited to have 100 students there. So
I was just saying, I'm not saying I'm disappointed in the turnout. I just was wondering, knowing I have a son who's in high school, so just knowing, how many high schoolers there are percentage wise, and how that worked out, and how we disseminated the information, and just curiosity.
Sure, and I would say the vast majority of the students who were there are students who are involved in their high school transition programs, or students who themselves have disabilities, because those are the folks that really the transition team is geared towards. But absolutely, and really any high school students who would like to be involved could be involved.
And I just wanted to say thank you again to the community of practice transition team. I am incredibly honored to have been this year's keynote speaker. It went very well. I had student participation throughout, which was really fun. And I just thoroughly enjoyed being able to talk about my life and inspire folks. And so thank you again. It was my honor to do this.
And Jamie, thank you too. You are always so supportive. And I know you've been our keynote speaker at the Transition Fair before. So, but great job. And thank you so much for doing it.
Oh, and before I forget, even though you weren't there, Russ, physically there, you were there in spirit because I did make mention of you and said that you were my favorite teacher.
Good job, Jamie. All right, thanks, folks.
So, and I see that Rachel has her hand up.
I just wanted to say, well, first of all, Russ, I don't want to bloat your head anymore, but when he mentioned your name, almost the whole area gave you some applause. So, but I wanted to say that I got some feedback because I've got two family members who came from Coconino to the fair. And then I'm also talking to a counselor at Coconino High School because one of my big things is self advocacy. And
Mhm.
so I would like to take one or two of the students that they choose and bring them to one of these meetings so that they can see what we're all about and see there are strong people in the community that can help them advocate, that we ourselves advocate for other disabled people. So the commission may see a couple of those Coconino kids sometime later this year, hopefully.
Fantastic. That's great news.
You know, and Rachel, that is wonderful news. And I'm not sure if you're aware of this either, but with the Northern Arizona Community of Practice Transition Team, on that team itself, we always try to have an actual youth member. And the last 3 or 4 years has been Joseph Spence, who has been a Coconino High School student. He's now at the Flagstaff Community Training Program. But I think, you know, to have youth actually attend this meeting would be a wonderful thing.
That would be fantastic. And to speak to Russ's comment about me being keynote speaker before, well, I kicked the very first one off, the very first transition fair, 12 years ago now. So this was a nice way to round things out for a repeat visit. And I would just like to say that I was really impressed with the people that were there and impressed with how well the event went altogether. So thank you again. With that, let's go ahead and move down to the approval of the minutes from the last meeting. These would be October 25th, 2022. If you need a moment to peruse those minutes, please do so. And then I'd like to ask for a motion. And Sarah, I saw that you had your hand up.
I was just going to move to approve the minutes from the meeting on October 25th, 2022.
Thank you so much. And Rachel, you're up next.
I will second.
Okay, so all of those in favor of approval of the minutes from October 25th, 2022, as written, signify by saying yay.
Keith, yay.
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 All of those in opposition signify by saying nay. Hearing no nays, the yays have it. The minutes from October 25th, 2022 are approved as written. Thank you, everyone. And next agenda item is next month's meeting will be on December 27th, 2022. How does the scheduling look for everybody for next month?
I'm good.
This is Keith. I'm good.
Okay.
This is Stephanie. I won't be available on the 27th next month.
Okay. And thank you for letting us know, Stephanie. I'll have to check with Monica as well. Just in case, folks, would it be possible if we could move it back a week to the 20th?
This is Stephanie again. That could work for me.
Okay. How about
This is-
for everyone else?
That may actually work better for me as well.
Okay. And Keith, how about you?
I'm okay on the 20th.
All right, I'm seeing that most everybody is available on the 20th. How about we move it to the 20th? Consensus. Lisa and Ellen, can we make that happen?
Certainly.
Fantastic. So our next meeting will actually be December 20th, 2022. And thank you, everybody, for making that accommodation for folks. Okay. So let's see here. Number 9, we have action items, and I'm really excited about this because this is where we start to tackle that wonderful list that Keith presented to us on looking at the accessibility issues of curb cuts, sidewalks, ramps, and what have you. So let's dive in. Keith, I'll go ahead and give you the floor.
Okay, thank you. I'm not sure where we want to start. Do we want to start with winter snow removal, possible issues, or I mean, I actually went through over the month and I just looked for the different issues that I saw with blocked sidewalks. I saw 68 issues with cars blocking sidewalks, 134 issues with trash cans blocking sidewalks, 82 issues with recycle bins blocking sidewalks, 37 issues with bulk trash, and 7 issues with sandbags. And really, um, I only looked about 10% of what I saw was in Smoke Rise, about 10% was downtown, and about 80% in Sunnyside and Greenlaw. And those are the only areas I kind of went through as I was doing about my monthly businesses. So there was a lot of issues. And of course, those numbers might not be accurate because I tried to keep track of things in my head and then write them down as I got home, but they're probably pretty close. So that's what I discovered as far as issues while I was traveling about town for the month. But I don't know, maybe we want to focus on just moving forward with winter snow removal and snow removal issues that we may or may not encounter.
I think that would be a fantastic way to begin our project, especially since winter is fast approaching. Definitely so. And thank you, Keith, for your observations in those neighborhoods. I didn't know that you were in Smoke Rise. That's where I live. I'll have to show you where I live so you can stop by next time.
Yeah, I just kind of passed through Smoke Rise. My wife goes to the clinic up there, the Navajo clinic up there, and we passed through the Smoke Rise area, mostly on the east side. We don't do too much of the west side of the freeway or 89. We go through that area there, you know, basically to go back home because it's nasty trying to get back out on 89. But I saw several issues in that area.
It is really nasty trying to get back on 89. And I too have been keeping an open eye and have seen several issues that I can concur with Keith in my area where I live. I did see that Rachel had her hand up, and then Stephanie. So we'll go in that order.
That was a complete accident. I am so sorry.
That's quite all right, my friend. Okay, Stephanie, you're up.
Thank you. I just wanted to mention, one of the things that I did over the last month or two is I spent some time with a friend who's blind and uses assistive technology to navigate their computer. And we were able to determine that it's pretty tricky to report a sidewalk concern. And that was one of the things that we wanted to look at. Like, we have these current procedures or processes within the website found in the city, but it was pretty hard to find the page to report a sidewalk concern. So I wanted to maybe see if we could look at that. It was something like 6 or 8 different keystrokes to find it, and it was nested within things that just weren't necessarily intuitive as far as how to find it. And when we tried searching it simply with like a Google search, we came upon hundreds of entries, reports on sidewalks, and different things, documents going back to the 1990s, that we were linked with, but not finding the actual reporting page. So that was interesting too. And I feel like it may be helpful for us to look at some of the processes that already exist to see if they're effective. We haven't yet filed a complaint or made a report using that process to see what the follow-up looks like. And that was kind of the next step that we were hoping to work on maybe this upcoming month. That's all I've got.
I agree, Stephanie. It shouldn't be like trying to find a needle in a haystack to make a report to make something better. Definitely so. And then Russ, I saw that you have your hand up as well.
And thank you, Jamie. And even though I am kind of a older person rather than like a youth person for the youth liaison, but as an older person, I actually belong to a neighborhood blog that the city has. So I put something out on the neighborhood blog about sidewalks. I live in University Heights, but obviously the blog extends like into the Highlands area as well. But a lot of folks don't know what to do with their garbage cans. Rather than putting them out in the street, they put them on the sidewalks. And then a lot of folks don't know what to do with their bulk trash because they don't want to put the bulk trash out there in the street.
Right.
A lot of times the alternative to the street is the sidewalk. So literally folks just do not know what to do with their bulk trash at all.
And I was thinking as we began talking about this is an excellent opportunity for some informational sharing to get the word out to folks about those very issues, how to keep your sidewalks clear and things of that nature. So I'm all about the informational aspect. We need to get the word out, definitely.
Yeah, I think information's going to be key in all of this. One, getting it out to the public, and another getting it into the city and the city folks to, maybe they need to know more of the problems that we encounter, and then maybe they can start brainstorming on what they can do to help us with reporting and stuff. But I also noticed the website was very difficult to navigate.
And something like that should be user friendly. That's so frustrating. Okay.
Yeah, I was gonna say that. I'm sorry, I had my hand raised. I'm sorry if you didn't see that. But I was also gonna say that I live in a neighborhood that has private streets, which makes it a little bit more problematic because when you put your trash bin, you either put it to block the emergency vehicle path, right? Because our street is only the emergency vehicle, right? Is we can't park on the streets because it would be a red zone, right? And so like
Right.
if an ambulance came through, it wouldn't be able to get through if our trash can. I mean, I guess the trash cans could fly, but we don't really have a workable solution on a private street that's only wide enough for emergency vehicles to pass. So that's also something to keep in mind. We have a lot of neighborhoods that still don't have sidewalks. Like I think there are a lot of places in University Heights that may not. I don't remember. I know I haven't
Right.
really looked hard, but I know like I think half of Greenlaw has sidewalks, half doesn't. You know, like there's a lot of places where they're working to do that, and that might be, you know, something that we could concentrate on so that it is more accessible. Like even down by NAPTA, there's a section of sidewalk that doesn't exist. It's just a big gully ditch. So you have to go through, you know, you can't get there with being safe, right? Because there's
Oh
no
my
sidewalk
gosh.
in that gap space, but it was probably in existence before, you know, those rules and those regulations and those zoning requirements were in place. Number two, the other thing I was thinking of and was the city website is a little difficult to navigate. There's a lot of information on there to try to find. And if you do a search of it, it's really difficult to narrow that down. Like, I think Stephanie, you were saying like you're coming up with things from 1993 and weird things like that. I mean, even the non-emergency police number, I remember several years ago, I was trying to find that one because it wasn't an emergency thing, but the police needed to be notified. I couldn't find it. You know, I think that's something that needs to be discussed, or maybe we have an app that has like informational things where you can, the city says, hey, do you need the non-emergency number? Do you need to, do you need to report a violation of sidewalks, or, you know, like just those types of things that might be like a quick, handy thing for non-emergencies. I don't know.
Thank you so much for that, Sarah, and some really good points. I do see that Jeremy has his hand raised. I want to give him the floor.
Yeah, I was just going to respond to Stephanie with the issue, and I have worked before on some like ecology projects that incorporate citizen science, where there's an app that you can use to like, you know, snap photos of plants or whatever. And I'm wondering if something similar could be developed where, you know, we can report the sidewalk issues or accessibility issues on an app that might be a little more user friendly. And accessible on the go as well.
And I like the idea of an app for those people that have cell phones. Most of us have cell phones, so the app would seem somewhat easier in some ways. And for those people that may need a little bit of tutoring on how to use it, we could do that as well. I tend to be a little bit old school, but I'm moving forward to technology. Let's see. Who else had their hand raised or had something to say?
This Jamie, I do. This is Russ.
And go ahead, Russ. You have the floor.
Thank you, Jamie. You know, with regards to, and the trash cans are everywhere on sidewalks and the bulk pickups too. And, you know, I know as someone who, you know, has trash and water with the city, you know, I get a bill in the mail every week or every month from the city. I don't know if it would be difficult for the city to just put a note in there about where the trash cans should go when they get put out and where the bulk trash pickup should go when they get put out. I mean, obviously the city is sending out those bills anyhow. I'm not sure if it would be that difficult to just put a little reminder note in there telling people where their trash cans and their bulk trash should go.
I think that's a fantastic idea. You're also getting some similar commentary in chat, Russ. Something really simple just to get the word out too. Okay. We definitely have some really great ideas. I think one of our main ideas that we begin with is getting the information out so that people are aware, you know. knowledge is power, as they say. So would anybody else like to speak to these issues? Yes, Keith, go ahead.
Okay, so I definitely believe information getting out is really critical. And I'm not sure how many, if we even do. Do we still do Cityscape? That's a thing that used to come out in our mailboxes that had a lot of city information. And I know I used to look at that to find, my trash dates and all that. But I also did find on the website that bulk trash is supposed to be on your property off the sidewalk side, but close to the sidewalk so they can see it. It's not supposed to be in the street and it's not supposed to be on a sidewalk. Trash cans, city used to say trash cans could go on the sidewalk or the street, but I couldn't find anything along those lines now. So to me, all trash cans should go in the street and never be on the sidewalk. One of the things I discovered when I was looking at trash can issues was a lot of people are putting them on the sidewalk. A lot of them, even if they put them in the street, a lot of them, when the trash people put them back down, they knock them over. Sometimes the wind does it, but sometimes the trash people do it. And nobody picks them up. The trash people don't. And maybe we could work with the city to try to get that to happen a little better. Anyway, those were the big things I saw trash wise.
And I wanted to make mention of something that Martin put in chat. Martin, I just saw your hand go up, but he states that Cityscape has not been published in a couple of years. So I did see that before Martin, Rachel had her hand up. So Rachel, you have the floor, and then Martin.
Couple of things running through my mind about all of this. I just lost those thoughts. Never mind, I'll raise my hand if I think about them again. 52 has not been good for Rachel.
That happens, yeah. Okay, Martin, you've got the floor.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Just a couple of quick points. One is the city standards for streets currently require a parkway between the sidewalk and the street, which is a strip of about 5 or 6 feet between the sidewalk and the street. Where they exist, they are crucial because they provide a place to actually put trash cans that isn't either in the street or on the sidewalk. Unfortunately, we have a lot of sidewalks that don't have parkways, so we have to make do. The second point is I do recall from a couple of years ago that the city sustainability had an educational program about where to put your trash can to place it appropriately. And it was never on the sidewalk. If there was not a parkway, then it went in the street with the wheels backed up against the curb. Sometimes if we have a situation where there's a bike lane, no parkway and a sidewalk, and then we have kind of a triple whammy where we don't know where to put trash cans. So in that case, if the trash can is put as close up to the curb as possible, a lot of times there's still room in the bike lane for bikes to be able to get by. Again, this has been one of my personal crusades for the last, I don't know, say 25 years, is to make sure that we always build parkways with sidewalks because they serve such a beneficial role. It's also a place where snow can go, so we're not plowing snow from the street onto the sidewalk. But don't get me started evangelizing about parkways any more than I already have. But just suffice to say they're valuable. Thank you.
Thank you, Martin. Anything else for the good of the cause with regard to this?
Rachel has her hand up again.
Okay, give it another shot, Rachel. And thank you for noticing that, Keith.
So maybe this is directed at Martin, but Martin, is there anything that we as a commission can do to help you? Maybe we can invite somebody from environmental services to one of these meetings. what can we as a committee do to help, as a commission do to help you get the word out?
Commissioner, Ellen and I will kind of meet in between now and your next meeting. And I think we can start to put a little bit of the information that you talked about together. I know, like when you were talking about how to report concerns, I know there's a couple different places, like for example, if snow doesn't get cleared from sidewalks, that's one number. If it's a trash can issue, that I think that's a different department. If it's like a vehicle, that's probably the police department. So let Alan and I kind of put our heads together and figure out how all that works and maybe assemble that information. Also, we can look for that. I mentioned that information that sustainability put together on where to put your trash can, and that was kind of a public outreach effort on their part, but maybe I can find what they had done previously, and Alan and I can bring it to the next meeting.
And the second question I had, Martin, is I know that years ago the city had, I don't know how they did it, but probation, people on probation were able to use some of their hours to help clean sidewalks from a list that the city collected of disabled and elderly. Is
Yeah.
that still something that the city does? And if not, is it something that you would reconsider?
I believe that it is, Commissioner. I've not heard anything about it for a couple of years. That would be in our compliance office in the city's code compliance, which is headed by Reggie Eccleston. I might suggest that you consider inviting him to your next meeting to address some of the snow removal issues on sidewalks, because they make a great effort in the winter to try to ensure compliance of snow removal from sidewalks. And he's come to commissions before and talked about some of those issues. And I think it's interesting to learn how his program works and exactly what the city ordinances and regulations are.
Alan, is that somebody that we could possibly invite next month?
We can, I can definitely reach out to them.
Thanks, guys.
And see if they're available.
Okay.
You're on mute, Jamie.
I train for a living and I still have that happen occasionally. Sorry, folks. But if that can't happen for our December meeting for December 20th, let's make that happen for January.
Yeah, usually, Chair Martinez, what I do when I reach out to them is first opportunity would be next month's agenda, or if it's too soon for them in planning to do it the following month. So we'll definitely get it within the next 2 months.
That's fantastic. Thank you so much. Okay. Does anybody have any, let's see, and I am seeing that Keith's hand is now up.
Yes, I know we were supposed to talk about winter snow removal, so I've got a little list that I started. I'm going to throw it out real quick, and then I will type it up and I'll send it out. Winter
Perfect.
snow removal problems, not shoveled, shoveled but not wide enough, partially shoveled, like corners, alleys, alleyways and stuff like that are not shoveled. Late shoveling, taking 3 or 4 days to get it done. How to report and to whom? Maybe code enforcement, I don't know. Email, text, call, possible,
Right.
or make it public through public education somehow, or easier to find. Who else could report? Maybe we could get police or the trash people. I mean, the trash people go along every day through all these neighborhoods for recycle and regular trash. Maybe they can report sidewalk obstructions or even snow removal.
Mhm.
Maybe police could report that, or other city employees as they're going around. If we educate the city employees, hey, look out for this stuff and report it. And last thing again is educate the public. And I had cityscape with a question mark, and that was answered. Maybe some mail flyers that cost money. Radio public service announcements. I don't know if that costs money or not, but obviously the website at least. Maybe something on the main page that could flash across every once in a while. I know CCC has a website. Their main page has pictures to come across that is some informational stuff. You don't just see one photograph, it just kind of rotates through. Maybe something that would pop up that would be, hey, snow removal, click on this. So anyway, that's all I've got.
And Keith, to add to your comment about PSAs, most of the time PSAs are free. And I do have friends in radio, so I'd be happy to look into that. I think PSAs would be an excellent way to get the word out.
This is Stephanie. I just wanted to add to that if I could real quick.
Sure, Stephanie, go ahead.
Thank you. I think that it could be helpful even, if we've got this information in an infographic kind of form or something like that, that can be shared on social media. And that's a great free way for us to have that information out and available. And it could be even, the same infographic that Keith was describing that flashes across the screen as part of a different web page or something like that. So we can kind of use the same information and hit multiple places with it.
Absolutely. Fantastic idea. And then Keith, I have another snow removal area to add to the list. This is just something that my family and I have noticed probably over the past 2 winters, is that the accessible parking over at Harkins needs some really big help with that because you go over there and if it isn't snow packed, it's icy enough to be an ice skating rink. So who wants to kill themselves before going to a movie? Okay, Rachel, you have your hand up.
I don't know why I did that again. I'm sorry.
No problem. Okay, any other commentary, folks? This is a really good discussion. So
Stephanie has a hand up, and so does Martin.
Okay, so Stephanie, you have the floor, and then Martin.
Sorry, I just hadn't lowered it from the last time. I just did that.
Okay, perfect. Martin, you have the floor.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I just wanted to remind the group that I included these questions to begin a discussion on the city's pedestrian advisory committee as well. Alan and I have started communication, but haven't had a chance to sit down together to coordinate how the committee, the pedestrian committee, and this commission might work together to help tackle some of these issues. We were not, our November meeting got canceled because of a lack of quorum. We're down to 5 members. And I think everybody in this group knows how difficult it is to hit a quorum when you're down.
Definitely.
They've got a couple of vacancies, but we're trying to recruit some people. So hopefully we'll have our December meeting. And again, Alan and I will put our heads together and try to figure out a way for the 2 groups to combine their efforts and work through these issues.
I'm definitely excited about that, Martin. The Pedestrian Advisory Committee and this commission, I think that's a good force, and I really look forward to us uniting.
Yeah, I think of, sorry to digress, but I think of the 2 groups as you have 2 different friends, and you think to yourself, I bet if they met, they'd really get along.
Yes, definitely. We'll make it a point to get along.
Thank
okay,
you.
Rachel, you have your hand up.
This time I really do.
Okay, good.
Mark, if it's acceptable and if you would like to, you can email me an invite to the Pedestrian Advisory Commission, and then I can appear as a guest and just listen.
Okay, we'll do. I like that idea.
Okay.
Martin, when do you normally meet?
Pedestrian committee meets the second Thursday of every month at 4:30.
At 4:30. I actually might be able to make that too. Can you send me an invite as well?
Absolutely.
Fantastic, thank you. So from our discussion, I really see two themes that are popping out: education, education and snow removal as winter is fast approaching. So I think those should be our two main areas to start us off. Okay, really great discussion, folks. Really appreciate this engagement. Keep it coming. And if you have any ideas along the way, email Alan, email myself. That's what we're here for. We'll get things on the agenda and make it happen. So next on the agenda, we have reports, discussion items. Do we have anything to add to this for item number 11? Reports and discussion items. I'm not seeing anything in chat or hearing anything from commission members. So we will go down to agenda for next meeting. We should keep this as a standing item on the agenda to keep the flow coming. I'm really excited about this prospect. And Alan, any other agenda items that we should know about for December 20th?
I think Alan had to jump off to another meeting. I don't have anything written down in my notes, but I'm sure if Alan, if there are some things that are coming, he will send out an email letting everyone know that. But I agree with you. We should definitely keep this on the agenda as a standardized item and, move forward with some of the suggestions and ideas that we had today.
I really think this has been a great meeting. Thank you to everyone. We have come to the adjournment of the meeting. And before we adjourn, I just want to wish you the happiest of Thanksgivings and the happiest beginnings to the holiday season. Continue to stay safe and well, and continue to be kind to everyone you come into contact with. I know that all of you are, but it's always good to remind ourselves. So stay safe, stay well. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody.
Thank you, Jamie.
We'll see you in December.
Happy
Bye,
Thanksgiving,
everybody.
everybody.
Thank you all. And God bless us, everyone.
Yes,
Tiny Tim.
Tiny Tim.
That's right.